rolling Oasis.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm sure those that saw the title of this morning's live were like, oh my goodness, did she really say that? Yes, I did. You can be a boss without being a B. Now, B can stand for a whole lot of things, but some of you all know that B most often stand for something that relates to a female dog, which I would never, ever, ever call another woman. I get upset when men call women that term. But so often when we are in the corporate world or even just in the work world, we are often considered the B word. And let me just say, boss can stand for a whole lot of different things. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that it stands for. But some of you all have heard the story about how when I was little, or when I was younger, I'll just say elementary school age, I was an influencer. Yes, I even way back then from the age of 7, 8, 10, 12, I was an influencer. And so I was that person that could always get people to do stuff. I was that person that always said, "Come on, let's do this." Or we're no. Most likely back then it was, "We're going to do this." And so of course, the B word stood for bossy. I so often, I mean, I probably heard it almost on a daily basis. "Oh, you so bossy, you so bossy." And back then, let me be real honest with you, I didn't care because I got stuff done. But as I got older and I started hearing that term, "Oh, you so bossy," it started meaning something different to me because I realized that my heart wasn't to tell people what to do, or my heart wasn't to make people upset or angry or boss people around. And you see, I use the air quote for boss. But boss can mean a whole lot of different things. You can be a boss without being bossy. So I do a lot of leadership training. And, I've been heard that I'm a leadership guru. Many people have called me leadership guru. And so when I got older and I realized that I owned the fact that I was an influencer and I owned the fact that I was a leader, not necessarily because I wanted to be, but that was just my nature. I'm still a leader. In every job I've ever had, I rose to leadership relatively quickly because I was able to problem solve, use critical thinking skills, and I was able to get stuff done. And I was able to encourage other people to get things done because I'm a team player. I get in, I roll up my sleeves, I get dirty, whatever it is that needs to happen in order to make sure that a job gets done and that it gets done with excellence. That's what I do. And so let's talk a little bit about this term boss. Boss, I like acronyms. I just like acronyms. I really do, because you can have a lot of fun with acronyms. Now, I'm a kid of the 70s. I was born in the 60s, so I'm at the tail end of the baby boom. But my most formative years were during the 70s. And so if you remember anything about the 70s, the psychedelic age, and some of you all are too young to know about the 70s, but if you ever watched anything pertaining to the 70s, you sometimes heard guys in their cool slang say, "Oh man, that's boss. That's boss." Well, what did boss mean back then? It didn't mean influencer. It didn't mean leader. It meant that something was cool. It meant that something was okay. It meant that something was good, excellent, whatever the case may be. That's boss. That was the slang term for boss. But let me give you some other acronyms for boss. Boss usually on the job means a person in charge. Even when I was in leadership in the corporate world or in the work world, I didn't like being called boss. And I still have staff that say, former staff that say, "Hey, boss lady," or "That's my boss." Well, I didn't like to be called boss because it triggered me to remind me of things that were not so pleasant when I was younger. And so I like to be referred to as a leader because a leader have different attributes than a boss does. A boss wants things their way all the time, but a leader brings people along and show them the way. They walk alongside them, they teach them, they train them, they mentor them, and then they let them go so that they can become leaders themselves. That's what a leader does. And so let me give you some real fun, cool acronyms for BOSS, BOSS. One of the things that's important for leaders to always do is when they get stressed or when things get tight for them, BOSS can stand for blow off some steam. Go in the bathroom, go in your closet. I like to go in my prayer closet and blow off some steam. And blowing off my steam or blowing off some steam don't always mean that you got to snap off or say things that are not kind or not productive. But sometimes blowing off some steam just means that you have to sit down, close your eyes, and blow off the steam. Woosah, in other words. Boss can also mean better opportunities for single sisters. Now, the Oasis Empowerment Zone, we service single mothers or single women, single mothers. And a lot of times being a single mother can be really, really tough. Not everybody have mastered the art of being a single mom, but being a single mom is tough because when you don't have someone to bounce things off of, when you don't have someone to help you make decisions, when you don't have someone to help you pay bills, woo, it can be tough. So think about boss as better opportunities for single sisters. Then boss can also mean built on super success. Now, when I was trying to think of acronyms, I always go to uh, my my good friend Google, as Tim Ross would say, but Google, and Google acronyms for boss. One of them that came up was built on self success. And I didn't like the way that sound because it was too eye pointing or pointing to me or pointing to I. And I never like to give myself all of the credit for doing anything because I just believe that God gives me the strength and the power and all of that to do what it is that I do. So I don't ever want to give myself the credit. What I do give myself the credit for, though, is obedience to do what God tells me to do. So I don't want to sound like I'm being, having false humility and, oh, she's so super spiritual. I am spiritual, but I recognize that nothing would get done if I gave God all the glory, but didn't operate in obedience. And so I rephrased that acronym to say not built on self success, but built on super success. And your super success is just your obedience to do what it is that you know to do. And then another acronym that BOSS could stand for is building opportunities for self-sufficiency. I like that one the best. And I may in some way incorporate that into the Oasis Empowerment Zone because truthfully, the Oasis Empowerment Zone was designed and built to help build self-sufficiency, help single moms create self-sufficiency. When I was writing my dissertation or when I was in graduate school, my postgraduate school working on my doctorate degree, I kept thinking, what is it? What's my biggest pain point? What's the thing that makes me cry? What's the thing that makes me sing? What's the thing that makes me just kind of go crazy when it comes to single moms? And the thing that made me go crazy when it came to single moms is hearing the defeat in their voices sometimes. I would often hear women say, because I worked in social service, I primarily worked serving single moms, but single moms who didn't have a lot of resources. And it always saddened me to hear mothers say, I can't do anything now because, I can't live my dreams. Because I would always ask them, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was your dreams? What were your goals? What were your visions? And the saddest thing was me always hearing single moms say, I got these kids now. I can't do anything. Well, let me tell you, you can build opportunities for self sufficiency. I'm not saying that you don't have to depend on anyone because no man is an island. We all need a support system. And so, boss can be also building our support system. That's what a boss can be also building our support system because we all need a support system. So, two things that the Oasis Empowerment Zone was built on. The Oasis Empowerment Zone was built on super success. It was building opportunities for single sisters. It was building opportunities or better opportunities for single sisters, building opportunities for self sufficiency, but it was also building our support system. And that's what the Oasis Empowerment Zone is all about. You always, if you've ever listened to any of my other lives on Wednesday for the Oasis Empowerment Zone, you always hear me brag on the Single Moms Hub because that's what the Single Moms Hub is. The Single Moms Hub is helping us to build our support system. The Single Moms Hub is nothing more than single moms coming together to help build each other up, to help build opportunities for self-sufficiencies, to help make better opportunities for single sisters. All of the women that are part of the Single Moms Hub are mothers, mothers that are doing stuff. We actually have one of our single mothers that's teaching us Spanish. Many of us have registered for a Spanish class and we're learning Spanish. We have single moms that are virtual assistants that run virtual assistance businesses that help each other. We partner together and we use our skills to help one another build better opportunities for single sisters. And so that's my little commercial for the Single Moms Hub. We meet the first and the third Saturday, which means what? We're meeting this Saturday at 11:30. No, I'm sorry. We meet on the second and fourth Saturdays, I think. Okay, no, we meet on the first and third Saturdays. How did I mess that up? Because I'm human and I have so many things going on and so many other things that I do that I kind of got the date mixed up. So we meet on the first and third Saturdays. Thank you, engineer, for putting that in the chat for me. First and third Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. If you'd like to get more information on the Single Moms Hub, you can pop right on over to our website at www.oasisempowermentzone.com. We do have a private Facebook page if you would like to be a part of that community. The only thing that we ask is that you be a single mother and that you be interested in engaging with other single mothers. And so until we meet again, I just love the fact that we are all bosses, but we're not bossy. www.oasisempowermentzone.com. As you can see on the screen, you're always welcome to make a donation through our Cash App. If you'd like to make a donation and you don't have Cash App, call that phone number, 855-OASIS-4U. That's the number, Oasis, and that's easy to remember, 855-OASIS-4U or 855-627-4748. The Oasis Empowerment Zone at this point is fully Dr. Ruby E. Powell supported and Dr. Tony Powell supported. We are looking for opportunities for foundations to pour into us. And we do have a couple of grant applications out. But in the meantime, until we get fully approved for those grants, if you would like to sow into the Oasis Empowerment Zone, please do so by going to $Oasis 1020 or by calling 855 Oasis for you. Love and blessings till we meet again on the next broadcast, which will be the first Wednesday of April. Love and blessings. See you on Saturday for those that are a part of the Single Moms Hub.
You brought an oasis right in the middle of a day.